Okay, you guys, we are back with another video, honey, and Jeannie Mai and Anderson Paak. I don't know what Jeannie Mai is doing to herself. She just ended a bitter divorce with Jeezy. Jeezy dumped her ass. He was tired of her ass in no time after they had a kid together. And she's already out here making out with Anderson Paak. Jeannie Mai needs one of those old monks who will help her to harness her energy because she has a very, very, very strong energy. She has a very strong personality and she's really good at career. So I think what she should be doing at this time is pushing all of that energy into her career, doing more things career-wise, business-wise, at least for 4 years, and she should be having random guys in and out of her bed. Jeannie Mai is one of those women, one of the only women that I would encourage to sleep around and not settle down as yet because of how dominant her energy is. Not many men can handle it, and it's just true. Jeannie Mai's energy is something that will be seen as toxic for men if that guy is not truly a strong guy and knows how to harness their energy. And Jeannie Mai herself doesn't know how to harness her energy as yet. Like when I see Jeannie Mai, she kind of reminds me of my younger self. I have a very, very strong personality and I had to learn to harness and balance the yin with the yang because my male energy was so damn dominant. When I tell you I have a damn ass dominant male energy side of me, I have a very strong dominant male energy side of me. And because of that, I can't just date any guy. I can't just be with any guy. And I had to learn to harness that energy with a lot of people. I got a lot of help to create a balance for it to be one. Have you ever heard some woman saying that they feel so weak, they need some male energy? Honey, my male energy rarely fails me, and it was overtaking my female energy, and I had to learn to balance it. That's Jeannie Mai, and that's the way she talks about men, the way she does, because her male energy is extremely dominant, and that is something that I don't think she even understands about herself. And people will see her as being toxic, and she's not toxic. She's just strong, she's just dominant, and if she doesn't learn to harness that energy, she's gonna become sick. That's why I got sick. Trust and believe. I didn't learn how to harness my energy early enough. I grew up around a lot of male figures who were strong. And as a female, when I was younger, man, I was knocking fists. I was in a lot of fights. I was very athletic and I was very strong, and my mom had to sit me down and say, "You're a girl. You're not a boy. You can't be living your life like this. You're a girl." But when it comes to Jeannie Mai, she's not yet healed. And seeing her out the other day with Anderson Paak, TMZ released the clip. And when I saw it, I said, another disaster, another disaster. Jeannie Mai needs to find someone who understands energy and help her to balance her energy. She needs to do it. I went on that journey for years. When I told you guys for years, and that's why I'm single, because if I'm not, I can't just date a regular guy. He has to be balanced and all of that. I will like you now. It will be fun for now. And then I may not like you later, because the more I get to discover your layers, when I see the weaknesses, if your strengths are not dominant over your weaknesses, it's kind of a turn off for me. And I think when I look at Jeannie Mai, it's the same thing. It hasn't been 4 years yet since she has divorced from Jeezy. What is she doing in a relationship? She has a very strong personality, and she needs to wheel that energy into all her projects. Anderson Paak, he's not a bad individual, but can you imagine Jeezy not able to deal with Jeannie Mai, and Anderson Paak is gonna deal with Jeannie Mai? Oh no. Jeannie Mai is bubbly on screen. She's nice on screen, but when she's behind screen, she is hella mean. Hella mean. Not that she wants to be mean, it's just her personality. And as I've said, she just hasn't learned to harness that energy that she has. Her male energy is more dominant, and I've observed her quite often, and this is why I can tell you that she's a bit of a narcissist and very toxic, and she won't learn until she, comes to center. And I think you guys have heard that, coming to center with yourself, because trust and believe, if she doesn't do that, she will never have a successful relationship. She needs to take that time, and she needs to focus on herself. She needs to do the inner reflection and the outer reflection, and she needs like mentors at this point. No, I feel so sorry for her because this relationship is not going to work. Let me look when they got divorced again, because I don't even think Jeezy had loved Jeannie Mai genuinely. I don't think he genuinely loved her. He never cheated on her, but I think he respected her and really wanted it to work. So Jeannie Mai and Jeannie finalized their divorce on June 11, 2024. And you guys know that even after that, she was still hurting, because when she moved to that man's place to get her things out, she was still kind of crashing out. And that was what, early 2025? And we're in 2026. Jeannie Mai should be living like a high school girl, reckless sex, nothing serious. If you're out there making out with a guy on Monday, on Friday we shouldn't be seeing you with the same guy. You should have another guy on Friday. And you guys know I don't encourage this reckless behavior. But when it comes to Jeannie Mai, this is a reckless behavior a woman like Jeannie Mai should be living. She's not yet ready for a committed relationship. She should be living like a college teen who is exploring. She should be literally just being a hoe out there, literally. Being a hoe out there. She should be dating men and not just average men. She should be dating, even though Anderson Paak, for me, in my opinion, that's an average guy. He needs to date above Anderson Paak caliber. She needs to date men that are busy. She needs to have 3 guys dating who are very busy, who travels out the country a lot. And she needs to have all 3 on rotation to ensure that she doesn't fall in love with any of the 3. And then after 4 years, she starts seeing each one for what they really are. Because it takes some while for people like Jeannie Mai to see the light. It's going to take about 4 years for her to truly see the light. So when she has 3 guys on rotation, and they're very busy and they rarely get to see her, at some point in time, she's going to start narrowing down who she thinks is the best fit for her. But her being out with Anderson Paak, she was spotted out the other day during dinner at a LA hotspot, and is on Tuesday night sitting close in a booth and clearly in their own little world. She doesn't need to be out in a little world. She needs to be out there. She's one of those girls that should be out there just sinning and tell God to be patient with her. She's gonna settle sometime soon and she's gonna get it right. Right? No, they're saying that at one point the singer had his arm around Jeannie Mai as they leaned in for what looked like a pretty intimate low-key convo. Plenty of people were around, but these two were fully dialed into each other. Though for now, it's just flirty vibes with no official word. They're actually dating. They are dating because they were spotted again after that, and they were spotted before that. Jeannie Mai, she doesn't need this. She really doesn't need this. She needs to focus on herself, and she needs to not be serious with anyone. She needs to just be having fun. And if you're seeing just one guy, you're trying to look for someone to be serious with. And this is a thing I don't get with Jeannie Mai, because it seems as though she is always out to prove a point, and she doesn't really need to prove any point to anyone. She should be out here living like a college teen, living her best life. Like that time we saw Malia Obama smoking her weed and just making out crazily with a boy. And then a couple weeks after, or a couple months after, she was spotted with another boy and making out. That's how Jeannie Mai should be living. She doesn't need a committed relationship at this point. She needs to be, like Tatiana, just living her best life, not making any commitments, telling the boys that she's just having fun, and wrap it up and have fun, Jeannie. But Anderson Paak, Jeannie's gonna get hurt again. Oh Lord, have mercy on her. Her divorce ended 2024. This is early 2026. Like, some people say, oh, she doesn't need to heal. She wasn't sick. Oh, yes, she was. You saw all of that crashing out? And she was like, this bed made me move my entire things. You get that? You get that? Do you get that? I feel sorry for her, because Anderson Paak is not it. It's not it. If Jeannie was gonna settle down, she needs an older man, a very much older man from a different culture to do that with. But I think Jeannie needs to work with an energy master, because I think her energy is just all over the place. If you notice how she talks fast, she does everything fast. She loves quick. She falls out of love quick. So I think her male energy is what is just messing with her, just like how mine used to mess with me. It was the dominant side of me, and as a woman, you have to learn to balance your male energy, or else you'll be consistently out of sync and making bad choices. She should be living wild and living like a hoe. Jeannie Mai is the only one I would say she should be out here living like a college girl, honey, just living life, enjoying it, making out with all the boys and having all the fun that she can, not settling down. She's not ready for that. She's not ready for that. She shouldn't be seeing one guy. She's putting herself too much in a vulnerable place, and it's really just not the best thing for her. And she may end up, can you imagine, for the internet to sit and talk about you having one bad relationship after next in 3 years? Because that's what's gonna happen. She loves to prove a point, and she needs to understand she doesn't need to prove anything. But anywho, I wish Jeannie Mai all the best, but I would say, girl, live like a college student who is new to the world and is trying to figure out what you want when it comes to love. You shouldn't be settling. You have absolutely no need or reason to be settling after divorce from Jeezy. You should be a hoe out here and let him say, oh, I didn't know you were like that. And you say, oh yes, I didn't know either. I'm just trying to find myself. She needs to really discover who she is, and while working on what she's passionate about. This Anderson Paak guy, he will work with someone else, but not Jeannie Mai. Not Jeannie Mai. Jeannie Mai is not ready for a serious relationship. But that's just my 2 cents on that, guys. Peace.